many of you can like call this actually music? What's even worse is how can anyone actually like it? Well, today I'm going to tell you the kind of people who do like it, and the kind of people who do play this music, and the many different types of metal music. Now, I've been listening to this stuff ever since I was a little kid through my cousins from Mexico, and at first I didn't like it, but now my tastes have changed, and now I'm what you call a metalhead. Now, we all listen to music for various reasons, and heavy metal reflects how some people feel about life and death. But with heavy metal music, it's mostly death. Next slide. Now, I'm going to talk to you about some of the main genres of heavy metal and some of the smaller, more niche genres, like subgenres, I guess we call them. But first, I'm going to give you a brief history. Now, it has its roots in classical music, so if you understand like a lot of like terms and things like that, they have a lot of things in common, but it's just a different way of playing them. Now, Black Sabbath is considered to be one of the first heavy metal bands. This is the first album that came out, and they're famous for being Ozzy Osbourne's fans. Now, the thing you hear right now is let's see what comes up next. Those three notes placed in that particular order. It was called Diabolus Musica, which is Latin for devil in the music, and it was believed to have like, evil qualities. And in the Middle Ages, it was sort of banned from like playing it because they thought it would conjure up the devil. And that still was pretty popular when this came out. So you can imagine what people would think when this song came out. It started the misconception that heavy metal music is Satan-worshipping music. For the most part, it isn't. They're more atheistic, or it's for shock value. But with everything else in life, there are Satanists involved somewhere. Next slide. Some of the characteristics are loud, heavily distorted guitars that are tuned low, dense bass and drums with a constant, really a fast beat, and the vocals differ depending on the genre. Next slide. They can be high pitched like King Diamond. Or they can be more an aggressive, like singing, yelling kind of thing. For example, Slayer does that a lot. It's not really anything special, it's really aggressive. Or it can be it's called a death growl. It's more popular. It's also called the Cookie Monster vocals. Let me give you an example of that, see if you can understand what I'm trying to say. Hear that? You can hear that cookie thing. Next slide. There's many different types of looks for the quote-unquote metalhead. There's the classic one, which is leather-studded jacket with like spikes and things like that. And underneath, you could see they're wearing denim, which is probably something like this, which is a vest with patches all over the place, and usually with boots. Or it could be the more gothic black metal one, such as King Diamond over there, where it has corpse paint, which is very simple makeup, either to just make you look dead, or something more demonic like that. Funny little note, those are actual like human bones. I'm not sure where you got those. A very common theme is obviously death. War and destruction, aka more death. Nuclear annihilation, that kind of thing. At the time a lot of this music came out, it was the Cold War. So to everyone else, it seemed a very high possibility this thing could happen. another quote-unquote blasphemy, which is more shock value, but it's also criticizing organized religion. So, so it could be like either against like Christianity or actually just following other religions. Like a lot of Norse mythology is very popular, and but they see the church as run by men and see men as corruptible. So that's how they view it. Of course, like most music, it also has sexual themes, but with metal, it's more quote-unquote brutal. Like rape comes up a lot, but it's like literally and figuratively, depending on the type of genre and what song it is. But surprisingly, Lord of the Rings and other fantasy elements are also very popular, such as Amon Amarth and Golgoroth are named after a land in Mordor. Blind Guardian has an entire album devoted to Middle-earth, called Nightfall in Middle-earth. And there are at least 2 bands that are completely devoted to J.R.R. Tolkien. Make sense? Maybe it's 2 genres. There's the first wave of heavy metal, which is more blues. There's NWBHM, which stands for the New Wave of British Heavy Metal. So it's like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. So they're faster and have a harder sound. Then it's thrash metal, and they're more punk influence. Next slide. And there's death metal, for example. There's a band called Death. Death Organ, Death Breath, Death Clock. You get the idea. And then there's black metal. And then these guys, their most common theme is criticism of organized religion. These are like the dudes in Norway that burn churches and stuff like that. I mean, that's really extreme. There's also power metal. Like, if you guys played Guitar Hero 3, you understand that Dragon Force is like the hardest song on there. Because it's a very technical sound, but it's more uplifting and has a more like positive imagery. Next one. There's also a bunch of subgenres such as Viking metal, medieval metal, fantasy metal, pirate metal, and folk metal, Nintendo core, which is like covering of Nintendo 8-bits but metal, gangster metal. Ice-T's Body Count would be the most famous example. Zombie core, band totally devoted to zombies. Vegan vegetarian metal, which is like cattle decapitation, which all their songs are about like stuff that we do to animals, stuff to humans. And then there's Mexican drug lord metal, which is like brujeria and stuff like that. So they play like this character, they play in like ski masks and everything, say they're wanted by the FBI, yeah, things like that. And then there's my personal favorite, Arnold metal, which is Austrian Death Machine, as you can see there, or Arno Core. All their songs are Arnold Schwarzenegger reference. So you know sound more like I just got it.
I'm the governor of the West Coast, and I got to go. There's a robot ready so we got to go.
Okay. Now there's also females in metal music, and they could go either 2 ways. Either really gothic and really nice and classical, such as Christina Scavia from Lacuna Coil. So, or they be like Malika from Abnormality. Yeah, that thing, that's terrible. Thank you. I'm done.